Welcome back to my old ranch. Now in this video, I'm going to cover getting this old tractor back running. It's old International. It's been sitting for many years, and so I'm going to go through it and see what I can do to get it back running and back into be able to be used in the field. So stick with me for this video, and we'll see at the end whether I'm successful or not. Well, okay, I've got it over here and use the tractor. So now I noticed they had fuel problems, so we might as well start there. I've got to make sure I get fuel all the way to the first fuel filter here and water separator. So I'm going to disconnect it from here. That fuel line there goes back around to the back here. It comes around here and hooks into the bottom of the tank there. Now, I'm not the one that pulled the tank out and cleaned it, so I don't know what happened and what he did. So I'm going to pull this fuel line off here and see if I can get air through it. I'm going to get the air compressor fired up, because what it does, it goes from here, then there's a hose that joins the two halves, because there's the fuel tank. It goes up to there, gives a little more volume, comes around, and then that hose there is, I'm pretty sure, the return line, but I haven't really checked it out yet. But I think that's the return line. So that's what I'm going to do first. What I've done is I've taken another fuel line and put it over the top here, because if there's fuel in here, it's going to leak. And I really don't know if there is or not. So we're about to find out. And I guess there is some fuel in it. Let's put that on there like that. So it doesn't leak while I'm working on the rest of the system here. I'll tighten that up. So I know I got fuel coming out of the tank. That's good. So now I'm going to pull this around. I made this little air adapter here, and then I'm going to put it in on the fuel line. Put that in there. I'm going to tighten this up. And I'm going to put fuel air to it. Let's see if it comes out the other side. Waiting for my air compressor to build pressure. And I'll have this in a second. Alright, I've got air compressor pumped up, got air in it. So we're going to see what it does. Push pressure to it. Alright, well, I do have air coming out of my fitting here. So I've got it's free to there. Now let's see if it's free all the way there. Well, it turns out that somebody didn't use a line wrench on here. It must have been using an open end. This is what a line wrench looks like. It's got a little notch. It goes all the way around. If I use the 1/2 inch loose, not going to work. If I use the 13, it's actually even worse. So I'm going to pull the filter off. All I can do. What do I got here? I need my 1/2 inch. Pull this nut off here. I'll pull this filter off. See what we got. Alright. O-ring definitely need to be replaced. Pull this out. Already got another O-ring there. come on. You pain in the butt. Come on. Alright, pull this out. Ooh, that looks pretty nasty already. Let's set it over here. I'm going to go put air to it. Back to the back real quick. Yeah. Okay, I've got good air going through there, so I've got fuel that at least gets to the filter. And now I got to get fuel. And I don't have any diesel here, so I'm going to have to get some and continue this tomorrow. Alright, back out the shop and filled it with diesel. And now I need to reconnect the fuel lines here, and then it will chase around. I already reconnected this connection, and now I need to reinstall the filter and the water separator. That's both. And then I've got to make sure that I've got fuel all the way to the top of the fuel pump here. Let's see, it goes to this hose here. Sorry, my camera. And it goes up here, and then I don't know with the sun you can see that, but it goes right in there. And I've got to pull that loose right there and see that I have diesel fuel pouring out of it before I try to crank it. Okay, I've got the filter cleaned up, all the parts. This is actually the water separator, and I'm about to reinstall this on the tractor. Alright, get in here. Let's pull this thing off first. This is the blower I made to go into it. Get this backed off enough. Now pull this line, and the diesel fuel will come out quite quickly. Alright. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't want to do that yet. I've got to get the fuel filter on first. Not thinking about what I'm doing. Now let me move the camera around to where the fuel filter is. Alright, I've got the fuel filter. Now let's get this thing installed. Alright, first let's put the bolt back in through the bottom. Got to put the O-ring in place here. Make sure it doesn't pop out. Put the filter back in here. Put this O-ring up on top. This one's the kind of a pain in the butt one. Getting it to stay put in the right position while I put the filter back in place. Alright, it's not working. Let me see if I can't put this in and see if it'll stay. No, not going to stay. Alright, well I got to do something a little different. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my grease gun, and I'm going to put a little grease on the gasket, or on the O-ring I should say, to get it to stick while I put the filter in place. And let me try to clean this up as good as I can so it'll stick. Diesel fuel is oily. Alright, let's see if it'll stick now. try a little more grease. Put some in here too. This normally works pretty good. Probably not enough grease. All right, put this in place. Yes. Okay, now I've got that O-ring to stay there. Now I can grab the filter. Almost lost it. Forgot about that O-ring that's up in there. All right, put these back in place. I should have went and got another O-ring, but this will work. The nut in place. Come on. All right, let me tighten those down. That was the right size. It's a 13 in it. All right, now I need to clap. All right, now I need to tighten this down. 13 on the bottom, 12 at the top. Now you don't want to go super crazy on this because you got O-rings. You don't want them to pop out. You tighten them down too much, they'll pop out. Okay, everything looks fine. Now, I'm going to reconnect the back. Alright, so you got everything hooked up now. So this time I'm going to go ahead and reconnect the fuel line. My finger over it so I don't lose any more diesel than I have to. Put this in place. And the fuel line used to be run through this, I'm pretty sure, as an insulator. The guy that worked on it did this, which is going to be a problem in the long run because it's going to wear metal to metal, and then it's going to wear a hole in the fuel line. So I'm going to have to change this before I turn this loose to them over there, because that's a problem. And I'm not sure what's up with this. I'm not sure how it was originally run, but that's really not good either. It's going to be in the way of all kinds of things. I'll have to fix that too. All right, why are you dripping? Well, that's not good. This line here is pretty old and stiff, so it may be a problem also. But first I'm concerned with is I want to get it running. All right, I think that worked. All right, got that reconnected. Don't see any leaks there. It all looks good. Oop. Do see a leak there. Oh, that's not good. Crap. Alright, how am I gonna... What's it gonna take to fix this? It's speaking pretty good. Back this off a little bit. I think I just didn't get it tight enough. The O-ring seems like it's in place. Oh, come on. Try turning it a little bit more. Alright. Yeah, it's not going all the way up in there for some reason. Let's try tightening it one more time. Well, this isn't working. It's got no shutoff valve there. So I'm going back and pulling this fuel line loose again. Got the shutoff valve and the crossover feed. Pull this back apart to find out what's going on. Now I notice the filter is a little bit crooked. It's not in there right. What's going on here? I'm going to have to go get another O-ring. Let's try it without the O-ring. We should put a drip pan under here. Losing all this diesel. Alright, well, what it looks like It didn't go all the way up into there. So let me try something different here. Put the filter there. This is a pain in the butt. Okay, that's all the way there. Let me hold it. Well, it was all the way there. I got diesel fuel all over everything again. Alright. Try putting this back on. I'm going to try something a little different this time. Yeah, I may have gotten that too tight to begin with. The O-ring popped out. Kind of a difficult little situation here. So I'm going to snug it up. I'm not going to go any tighter than that. So I think I actually tightened it too tight. Alright, on the back, reconnect this fuel line. Should have paid attention to this before. The person that hooked this up, I didn't pay attention to this before, I should have. But the crossover line, you put everything back wrong, but it's full of fuel, so there's not much I can do about it for the moment. But it's got a shutoff valve right here, and he's got it going over the crossover line. So next time you've got to change the filter, you can't shut this off. So it's going to be a mess for a second, but I'm going to swap this around. Actually, I'm going to get a drip pan. Alright, pull this one loose. Crossover. Pull that loose, put this on there. And this is the line that goes to the engine. And it needs to go there so I can shut it off. Oh, I wish he hadn't screwed this thing up like he did. Alright, now let's open this valve here, puts fuel up front, see if it's still leaking. At least now I can shut it off. Make sure it's tight. Tight. Alright, now let's go around and let's see if it's leaking. No, yep, that's what I did. Telling everybody don't tighten it too tight. What did I do right off the bat? I tightened it too tight. Doesn't that figure? All right, let's go around to the other side. This is where I need to get diesel fuel to. Grab my 19 millimeter. We're going to see whether or not we have diesel all the way to the pump. And I do not yet. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my air compressor. I'm going to put a little air in the tank, in the fuel tank. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pressurize the tank a little bit. This is how I'm going to do that. Take the fuel cap off, take my hand, put pressure on it. Oh, yep, I can see it. I've got fuel running out. I'll move the camera over to show you what happens here. I'm going to pressurize it and I'll show you what happens. Okay, I'm going to pressurize it and I'm going to show you what happens when the fuel, pressurize the tank. Oh yeah, we got good fuel now. Nice and clean. Now let me tighten it back up. Now this is sealed with 2 copper flat washers. This is what seals this line. And they work pretty good. Okay. Alright, now let's see if we can put a battery in this thing and turn it over. Let's see which way's which. Both these ends are pretty. Now let's see if it'll kick. Well, it'll turn over. It won't start quite yet. It's at start position. I'm going to pull the fuel filter, air filter I mean. Which they lost the for the air filter, so I'm going to have to make one. Alright, to clear, I need to spray a little starting fluid in there. Alright, a little starting fluid. That ping is starting fluid. Throttle. And I'm spraying starting fluid in it while I'm cranking it. Let's try it one more time. Well, I don't know if there's radiator fluid in it, so I've got to check that before I run it anymore. But it did start. It did run. That's good. Alright, I'm going to put some water in here. I put an antifreeze, but I still don't know what the story is yet on this, so I don't want to waste the money. Well, I know we got a big old leak somewhere. Well, one thing's for sure, didn't have any water in it. Good thing I stopped. Yeah, this thing had absolutely nothing in it. Alright, where's all this water going? It's going somewhere. That's not good. Well, I know where the water's going. Uh-oh. This is a bad sign. All this work to get it running. Glad I didn't put antifreeze in it. All this work to get it running, and it got it running. But check this out. But putting water in it, where's it going? Go over here to check the oil. That's not good. That's not good. So I checked it before. Yep, I see the water on it. Probably can't see that, but there's little water bubbles on there. So this thing has a broken block. Wow, that's really a bummer. That's really a bummer. Well, you saw what happened. I tried to save the old girl. But unfortunately, whoever had it before this, which I know who it was actually, but they didn't bother to put antifreeze in it. They left water in it and let it set through the winter. Obviously it froze, broke the block, and this is what happens. It's so very, very important, whether it's a car, whether it's a tractor, whether it's, especially even some of the snowmobiles and four-wheelers, there's antifreeze in it before it freezes, or it's going to break the block and you're going to lose it. So I hope you liked the video. Please share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.